guys are.
Yeah, how are we on schedule?
We're doing pretty good on schedule, I think.
Um, it says the run's set to go in 2 minutes, so seems like we're pretty good on schedule.
It's whatever. Just hoping I hit estimate. I haven't done a run in a while.
Oh shoot!
Should be fine though.
I usually set 50 minutes to be safe. I mean, my PB is a 14.
Yeah, I gave myself a little bit of a buffer. So.
Hey, looks like we're live.
Yep.
Yep, so I believe we're ready to count down and start when you guys are.
Okay.
Alright, welcome everybody to, I'm gonna have to read the full title of this game out before we start. So this is Cthulhu Saves the World, the special edition called Cthulhu Saves the World Super Hyper Enhanced Championship Edition Alpha Diamond DX Plus Alpha Fez HD Premium Enhanced Game of the Year Collector's Edition without avatars.
You did have to pay extra for this edition of the game, by the way. There's a whole
The
5.
Steam release.
Yeah.
It's a game you can get. It's a game you can get on Steam for, technically I would call it 49 cents.
Yeah, it's like 49 cents. It's very cheap.
Do you want me to put that full game title in the
No! No, you're gonna confuse the heck out of people trying to find
Because I'm
it.
probably just going to cover up the entire game display with that.
Isn't it Breath of Death 2, all that stuff you just said? I believe it is, yeah, I believe it's the same thing.
It's
Um,
yeah, it's functionally very similar to Breath of Death. Same developer. The developers were kind enough to actually tweet out this marathon, so shoutouts to those guys.
Yeah.
Team Zeboid.
Alright, well, if we're ready,
Zeboid Games. Alright.
time starts when I turn off the commentary here. You can play with the commentary on or off. It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't change the game at all. It just puts little question marks on the map that you can read, like, some information about the game. And it's pretty interesting stuff. So, ready? Everybody ready?
I'm ready whenever you are.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go!
So
And
there's a
if you want to
brief
explain the
Yeah.
mashing technique here.
So there's actually a really silly mashing technique with this game where it looks like we just got into our first battle. Where
Yeah,
we
that's
can-
just the first. It's the introductory battle. You just kill them both with death blow and move on.
So we basically get this priestess here to join our side because a game called Cthulhu Saves the World needs to be kind of silly. It's basically you play as Cthulhu in a Dragon Quest style parody RPG. The mashing in
Great
this
battle,
game,
so.
if you mash on both a keyboard and on your joystick, it's actually faster than mashing on either one separately. So you'll probably hear Gerrick, like just a bunch of button tapping come out of his microphone.
Yeah. So the point of this game is essentially Cthulhu's going to rise and he's going to destroy the world. And these heroes use some crystals, some magic crystals, to seal away his powers. And the narrator is talking about how they saved the world and all this stuff, and Cthulhu starts talking about how he's going to get his powers back. Bad movement is bad. And then he doesn't know how, and the narrator tells him that he has to become a hero to do it. So that's what he's doing. He's setting out on a quest to become a hero so he can get his powers back and destroy the world. The main mechanic in this game is called Insanity. You'll see the enemy's character models change when I use an ability called Insane Strike. What this does is it makes them take 100% more damage, or 50% more damage, and it allows them to deal 50% more damage. And it's very important to killing bosses quickly. That was the first boss battle, the heroes who sealed away my powers, and we just beat them down and move on.
Yeah, although this game was designed to be very much a parody of RPGs of this time, it just so happens to actually make for an interesting speed game. Menus are really fast, and the game was made to be played really quickly because enemies get a 10% bonus after every single turn to like their strength stats. Meaning,
And it
if
can
you
become really tough.
Yeah, if you don't finish them off quickly, they'll just kill you. It's partly why we run the game on the easiest difficulty, so we just don't have to grind very much.
Yeah, enemies have less HP. And they hit a little bit. They don't hit as hard. The maximum level in this game is level 40, and if you play this game casually and you do like all the side quests, there are several side quests in the game. You will get to level 40 pretty easily by the end of the game. You'll notice like I'm not running away from battles early. One reason is that we don't have a way to escape yet. There's only one character in the game who has an ability called Escape, and that's Umi. She's the girl in my party now, and she doesn't get Escape until level 7. And this is the real first boss battle, and the goal of this fight is to build combo. I forget how much is going on in this game all the time.
Yeah.
And the combo increases the amount of... Oh, he should be dead. He wasn't insane. The weird mechanic with that boss is that he will take himself out of insanity every now and that means he takes less damage. So...
We stop in the first town here to basically set up a warp point, because we're going to get the ability to teleport, and we actually warp to that town twice in the run.
Mm-hmm. And you have to go into a town to get the teleport ability for that town, so that's why I just stopped there. Again, I can't run from battles in here, so I have to kill stuff until I get Escape. And then Escape has a 100% chance to work, except it costs 25 MP. And you'll notice that there's 2 different level ups every time you level up. You have an A and a B option. And we've mapped out that there are several important levels. There are some levels that just don't really mean very much, and then there are some that mean a lot. Like getting Flame Strike and getting Blind Strike are both very important. Getting Curse coming up is going to be very important. Getting Escape for 100% escape chance instead of 60% is important. And there are some other level ups that are important, but there are some that just don't really matter. And you'll just see me mash through them and not care. I messed that up. And a lot of this game is just like menuing very quickly. You'll also notice that after every battle you get full HP. You get a small amount of MP back.
This is another reason we run on easy difficulty, is you get more MP back if you're playing on an easier difficulty.
Yeah, makes it more consistent to run away. Other than that, combat is very simple. You just want to hit stuff as hard as you can. I didn't mean to use heal there. That was a mistake. And the trick to this game is to menu very quickly. And I'm not doing a very good job of it. This is just poorly handled on my part. But that's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't help that the hearts can actually heal that wave in particular.
Yeah, the gargoyles are particularly bad enemies in here. I wanted to escape and I hit heal instead of pressing down again. But right now what we're doing is we've saved Umi. It wasn't enough to become a hero, so we're going to get a magic sword to become even more of a hero. And so we can continue to try to get our powers back. Everything we do in this game is essentially to get our powers back and to beat Cthulhu. So I went the wrong way because I looked at the chat for a second. My fault. Oh wow, he ran out of MP. That's not happened in a long time.
Let me know if I can slide a couple donations in here.
Go for it.
Sure. Dungeons are usually go here, do this. It's pretty simple.
Alright. Well, we have a $5 anonymous donation with no comment attached, but thank you for the $5. We also have a $40 donation from Night Barrel. This comment reads, "As promised from my run, have this go towards naming Paula in Earthbound Jeff, spelled Goeff. Thanks again,
Jeff.
and best of luck to the rest of the runners."
Oh boy, Jeff Bound.
Okay, so what we want is there are certain battles and certain dungeons that I want to get, and that battle right there is actually one of them. 4 Will-O-Wisps with your level up with Umi before this makes it to where you'll be able to escape the one battle you should get on this screen. You might get 2, but you should only get 1 before you get to a save point. The save points fully heal your HP and MP in this game, so I got 2.
Yeah, the save points are purely they might as well be heal points, because although they give you a save prompt, you can save anywhere in this game.
Yeah, I'm also a level ahead of what I should be here, so.
This fight should go down easy. This fight can just sometimes be an RNG nightmare.
Yeah, if he crits a lot and he kills Cthulhu, it makes this fight horrible.
Yeah, if he singles somebody down, it can spell
Like he wants to
disaster.
win.
My PB actually has a death to that fight. So well done. So now we get to teleport back to Miskatonia. And we get to get drunk and celebrate because we have become the hero, but not really.
Exactly. Sharp is a. Also, I teleport there to get out of the town faster. It's faster to teleport because it always puts you at the entrance. Sharp is a sentient sword, for lack of a better term. Normally, you wouldn't take that battle that I just took there, but it helps even out Umi's MP. Earlier, I had a chance to take MP or stats on Umi, and I took stats because it helps her speed, which is very important because you want Umi to go first to save animations. Here in a little while, we're going to get a weapon and item that completely makes her speed irrelevant, but that's not for a little bit still.
Yeah, Gerrick actually kind of came in and altered the route considerably, and it ended up being you did a lot of work routing the game a little bit more yourself rather than following a predetermined route. I personally learned this game for my 12-hour challenge, and I didn't really sink much into that.
Same.
So when I saw some of these route changes, I was like, how did nobody figure it out? It made the game... It used to be the game was, you get to the final boss and you pray.
Yeah.
And
now
it's much safer.
Yeah. There's a mechanic in this game. Poison is a mechanic in this game, and it does a set amount of percent damage to enemies. So it's very good to use on enemies, especially the final boss, who is a troll, to say the least. He can really mess you up. Am I going the wrong way? Yes, I am. What am I doing? Rust. The big thing about moving through dungeons in this game is you want to move certain ways to avoid getting too many battles. And
yeah, optimizing movement is just as much a part of this run as optimizing battles.
I would like to get... In this dungeon, their enemies, those zombie cops, and the fat zombies, which unfortunately I have to fight here, are just... They have a lot of HP, so they're kind of hard to kill. And they take a little bit longer to kill. What am I doing? I'm losing my mind. Again, I took agility there because I need a certain agility value to run from certain enemies later. The big change in here is just to... skip. Once you get... No, go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to explain October a bit. She's sort of this cultist mage who happens to be a really good damage dealer for taking out waves of enemies.
Yeah, Fireball will one-shot everything but the fat zombies and zombie cops. So when we get those death leaders, the dead cheerleaders, and the regular zombies, she can just, boom, blow them out real quickly. Which, again, every time she's able to kill an enemy, we get MP back for Umi, which gives us another escape later for hopefully avoiding those zombie cops and fat zombies, because they just have way too much HP.
This game has a lot of flavored text too that unfortunately you miss in the speedrun. Like the wizards in the first dungeon, it just says like a hit at parties.
Yeah. This
the
fight
sea
is...
ghouls are pretty tame.
Yeah, the sea ghouls are pretty nice because they again, you can just kill them with every member of your party, and then Ember can kill the zombies, because it's that formation is generally what you get with sea ghouls. So. And I had just enough MP to escape here. I'm a little bit behind what I want to be. It's not too bad. This is Nerlatep. Nerlatep's a pretty easy fight. We got an ability earlier called Curse, which is super nice, because what it does is it lowers enemy resistances, and it does make a huge difference.
Yeah, to reiterate a bit about combo, the idea is to kind of start just stacking combo as quickly as possible. And after a certain number of hits, you want to use Death Blow, which initially Cthulhu does before you get Sharp, but Sharp being your main damage dealer, he uses Death Blow for the rest of the run. And what that does is it drains the entirety of your combo, and the more combo you have, the more damage you deal. It's generally a big finisher kind of attack. Coming up, we're getting to the I don't know how much.
Boss.
Yeah, the Gatekeeper. Basically, this is arguably the hardest boss for the entire run until about endgame. especially in the run itself. Even in a casual playthrough, this boss, I noticed when I looked up this game on GameFAQs, a lot of people had trouble getting through the boss of this area.
Mm-hmm. You'll notice I took the level ups after Nerlatep pretty slowly. That's because if I don't get Ice Strike on that fight, oh, this is a good fight. If I don't get Ice Strike with Sharp on that fight, I lose a ton of time against Ember later because she's weak to ice, so she takes a lot more damage. I need to gain one level. It should only be one level with Sting Strike for this next boss fight. Sting Strike deals damage and it causes poison. And again, poison is very, very useful against bosses in this game because it does static damage. Where am I going? And that's very nice to have. It does a percentage-based damage, and no boss is immune to it in this game, unlike every other game on planet Earth, where they decided to put in an ability that's...
I get the feeling when Robert Boyd and Bill Sternberg were designing this game, they're thinking, what if we made a game where status effects worked on bosses?
This boss is not... yeah.
I think they're both
boss...
big fans of Persona, which is one of the other... Which is... SMT is just one of the other series that actually let you do that. Like, do something with status for bosses.
This boss coming up in the speedrun is the hardest boss in the entire run, other than Azathoth, just because you're very underleveled. Normally, I'd fight this boss at like 16 or 7. Ooh, cultists! What's up, boys?
Yeah, we want levels here, but we can be a little bit picky about when and where we get those.
Yeah, and that's another reason I get the tentacles ability that hits the group instead of the one that hits random enemies, because it allows me to kill these cultists in one hit. You don't use tentacles at all throughout the rest of the runs.
Yeah, this game's enemy system works like Dragon Quest, where different types of enemies standing next to each other can be targeted by spells, but there aren't a lot of spells that hit all enemies. Thankfully, we get a couple of those on Umi and Sharp to begin. So this is the Ape Princess, Cthulhu's crazy ex-girlfriend. I'm not making that up.
Yeah, she is the crazy ex-girlfriend. So what I do here is I'm going to go ahead and use Brave Wind. I usually don't, but I'm going to be really safe with this fight. The reason I'm going to be safe with this fight is because if I die here, I only have a couple 1-ups because I didn't pick up the chest at the start like I should have. And I didn't save right there. Okay, so you saw Umi is like hammered now, so she needs to heal herself. And hopefully, the Ape Princess is going to be much faster than me at this point in the game, no matter what I do. Let me Sharp to be alive.
Yeah, we don't want to burn too many potions right now. Potions will heal a party member to full and revive them from KO, but more importantly, it doesn't drain your combo. Full heal and party heal, like full heal and heal all, which are your biggest healing spells, it could reset your combo, and that's bad for damage.
This is gonna be close. I did this wrong. Ooh,
she looks like she's already dead.
Yeah. So another nice thing about this game is you do not, even if you're dead, you still get experience. So
yeah, that boss was hard for a lot of people because the wolves are extremely hard to kill. You actually pretty much have to poison them, or there's just no way to do it. Yeah. So we didn't actually used to make a stop here, but Gerrick found, hey, if we buy two pieces of equipment here, it's actually faster, and he just barely had enough money to buy those two weapons.
A lot of times you won't have enough money to buy the Blade 2, which it's not a big deal. It just means that so if you get the weapon there for Cthulhu, you don't have to get the Cthulhu sword in Ryle.
The final dungeon.
Which is not a big deal. If you have to get it, it's 10 seconds out of the way.
Ooh, cyber cats. Everybody post your cool cats in chat.
This is actually a good fight. It's going to take me 2 turns to kill them, but this means I don't have to fight a battle later, which is much better. I got to equip some stuff. So that's the big change in the route right there, is getting that Warp Trident. That item is the most important item in the entire game.
Yeah, I can explain what that does while you're fighting the invaders here.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to Space Invaders. Shout out to Space Invaders. So the way it used to be we didn't grab any equipment at all in this run, and it made things a lot harder. And I don't know why they didn't grab equipment when they were out of this game. I guess they just kind of assumed it didn't do very much, but there's actually some equipment that's really really not that far out of the way. The Warp Trident raises Umi's agility, which allows her to escape from battles much quicker. She gets a skill early on in the game called Hide, where she never gets focused in battles, which pretty much means you don't have to worry about her getting destroyed in a fight and then suddenly you can't escape. But the agility allows her to go first, and like across the run, that's maybe a second every single battle of just not having to scroll through text boxes. So that adds up considerably when you get a step roughly every 35 to 70 steps, or a battle every 35 to 70 steps.
Yeah, the Warp Trident gives her 80 agility, which is the equivalent of like 12 levels. So she is like significantly faster than everyone else now. So she's gonna go first.
Sure.
Wow, that's
Trying to fight the demonic possessed space cat who owns this ship here. This dungeon's about setting up switches, and you see very early on that Sharp is talking to Paws, our new cat alien companion, who we never use because he's a garbage party member.
He's terrible.
And he's like, we have to turn off the switches to move on, and Sharp just gives a deadpan look and is just like, how convoluted.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this game is that you do get multiple party members, which is great. Some of them are very good, some of them are not. Like Cthulhu has to be in your party. He's a jack of all trades. He's not really great at anything. He's not really terrible at anything. Sharp is your strongest physical attacker. And then Umi is pretty solid. She's okay. But Paws is
really good for battle, for when you don't have to do battles. But Paws is garbage.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything very well at all. So, oh man, slop everywhere. That's fine. So I just got an ability called Sharpen, which increases my damage from.
Raises strength by like what, 50%?
50%, yeah. I'm really struggling right now for some reason. What I'm doing is I'm using Blind Strike because it reduces blind, and if it blinds him, he can't hit me as hard. But he should be dead right now. Okay. He is not. This is bad. That's weird. He usually dies right there on 16, but I guess I didn't get either I didn't get a good damage
He's
or
at 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tells you the amount of HP. I did not mean to get that ability there. These don't matter much. That doesn't matter. Sorry, I meant to get one group. That was bad. Oh well, it's okay. Sorry. I'm a little rusty. I haven't done a run in a while, and remembering every single level up you have to get without reading is kind of a difficult thing. This is unfortunate. This is a battle there. I had to use some MP, so I'm gonna have to stop here and I don't even remember the name of this town, and rest at the inn. You don't have to do this, but I'm gonna do it because it makes it a little bit smoother the next time.
Yeah, in the next fight, I think you have to fight one encounter.
Yeah, you want to fight one or two encounters at worst.
Yeah, so basically something's up with the water supply in this town. So now we go get our party member who, I don't know exactly how it's pronounced. Gerrick pronounces him Dasser, I pronounce it Daker.
Yeah, I don't even have any idea. It's weird. It's like got the R before the E, and it just throws me for a loop. But he's the best healer in the game by far.
Yeah, the thing with Cthulhu in this game is, after you get your third party member, he is never your best party member, nor is he ever your worst.
Yep, he's always like a weird tweener where he does everything all, like kind of like a typical main character in an JRPG. Where it's just like, hey, or in some, oh, what am I doing? In some JRPGs, it's just like, hey, this is your best character, good luck, have fun. Whereas in this game, it's much more spread out. And there's going to be some party manipulation where you move people in and out of parties, which is important to remember to do. I'm going to fight this battle.
Yeah, we gotta fight one fight. Generally, we want one fight with the snow kills because those
Yeah.
either
they usually
die or
much
become
faster than this.
really close to being dead after you.
If I had Fireball for
Just
one
Fireball.
group, it would have killed all of them. Because Fireball, it loses a little bit of damage when you get the one for all enemies versus all one group. That's why I said I messed it up. It doesn't. It's not relevant after this dungeon. It's just this one dungeon is when it matters. This is another battle I could theoretically take. This is going to be a little bit slower than what I'd like to do, but it'll be... Alright, we're good. Because you have to... And we fight the battles not because we need levels or money. We fight the battles because we're going to get a number of battles that's more than the amount of times we can run away. So you theoretically, hopefully, you only have to fight one. Unless your movement's bad, like mine is, or something like that, where you just make a mistake and then you end up having to fight 2 battles. Or 3. I've had to fight 3 in here before, back when I didn't really get lost in dungeons. And that's the thing, like, I don't have notes for this game, all of it's just from memory, so it's kind of hard to keep up with everything all the time.
Yeah, I personally, when I run this game, have a little note thing for my level ups. I've consolidated it to where anytime I have a level up where I'm supposed to pick option B, I have that as a note, and then everything else I just mash through.
Yeah, and your level ups will come at certain times. Like, you're not going to get unexpected level ups. So if I really should sit down and map it all out, where, you know, because, like, you'll always get the level up where you get Curse. Well, you should always get the level up where you get Curse after you defeat Sharp. I got it before then because I've fought an extra battle, but you should get it after that. So you should be able to kind of, like, know what you're doing there. So
yeah, the other thing is this game has no random level ups too.
Yeah, your level ups are static.
Yeah, I've tested this every single time I do the exact same thing. I will always it was like a specific enemy in the forest. Fireball would always drop it to 1 HP, and it would tick me off. And that was kind of how I realized there are basically no random stats in this game.
Yep, and damage rolls are pretty consistent as well.
I think there aren't actually no damage rolls. Pretty much, yeah. Your stats are I think just have a flat formula, so it doesn't say varies from 92% to 108% or something.
Yeah.
So the gimmick of this dungeon is we're just raising and lowering the water levels.
Yeah, we really start to see that Brave Blade item I got for Sharp really pays off against Pause. I was 1 combo lower than I should have been. Because I'm supposed to use insane. Certain abilities give you more than 1 combo point. Like multi-strike gives you 3. Is it 3? I think it's 3.
I think it's 3 and it becomes 5 later.
Yeah.
So this is a very important menu. We have to switch. Switch Umi for Dasser because Umi's healing ability is not as good as Dasser, who has regen all.
Yeah, it's a very important ability against this guy, actually.
And the rest of the game, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere. It's very useful.
Say hi to Shaggy, everybody.
Yeah. And Dasser actually hits, or Dacker, he hits pretty hard.
Yeah, he doesn't get much offensive capabilities, but his basic attacks do a decent amount of damage.
This might be a little bit early. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. And he can do that. He can stun everybody for a turn.
Yeah.
Which is very unfortunate, but it doesn't matter. He's dead. Pierce is also a very important ability because it does a lot of damage. Her ability doesn't matter there. Hit up does matter. Strength. Again, I gotta read these sometimes because it's when you get into where it's a lot of people and you mash, you can mess up the level up really easily.
Yeah, it's very important to switch Umi back in here because after you beat a boss, everyone I've seen who runs this game forgets this at least once. If you forget to switch Umi back out, that means you have to do an encounter.
Yeah.
Because
you
will get encounters and she needs to escape.
Yeah.
So Unicorn.
Now, if you get to that town before getting an encounter, you can go into the town and come out, and it resets your encounter rate. I got 2 encounters, which is bad. That's really unlucky.
Never lucky.
So this dungeon is it has some enemies in it called pterodons. They're pterodactyls. They're right there. There is a battle where I can just die in here if it goes wrong. There's no way to have Umi fast enough to run from them before they attack, and there's a possibility of a random battle where there will be 5 of them or 6, and if they all attack Umi, which can happen even with hide, and kill her, I have to fight the battle, and I can't kill them. I don't have enough damage to kill them.
Yeah, so you basically will have to burn a potion or just pray that they'll let you run away.
Yep. Or yeah.
Nice thing about these little torches here is you see these green torches here. There'll be a couple red ones and blue ones in the next couple dungeons. But what those do is they actually show you the path that you're supposed to take, which I have it in my notes that any of my movement notes that anytime I see a torch, just that's the way to go. So I don't even have those added in my notes.
Yep. Alright, I should be able to go ahead and get the flame book. This is another item that I get in my run because this gives October 25 or 200 magic instead of the like 20 magic she has on her weapon right now. And that's where all of her damage comes from. So she actually becomes a viable damage dealer. Okay. Hopefully we do not get another battle. There's a save point right here. And it usually works out. But
yeah, you cut that pretty close.
Yeah, it was scary.
So that is the only piece of armor we get in this entire game, and it's not for offense.
Or yeah, it's not for defense. It's specifically for offense.
Defense, yeah.
It makes her much stronger because her attack damage is based strictly on her magic. So, or her magic damage is based on her magic. Her physical damage is based on her main hand, but her handed weapon, like a whip. But we don't need that with her. This is the battle. Here we go. All right, we're good. They all have to attack her. As long as one doesn't, she'll be fine.
Yeah, the odds are astronomically low for that one.
Yeah, but I have had it happen, unfortunately, and it costs a lot. It costs you when you die in this game in a battle. You can use an item called up, which you get one from each boss, I believe, and you get one from. There's a chest at the beginning. You can get 3. You can also pick them up in other chests throughout the game, and you can use a 1-up, and then it just takes you right back into the battle, and then you can run then. But I only have 2 or 3 right now, and if I die here, I won't have one for. Worst goes to worst. Because he can troll me, because he can use abilities that can just kill my entire party, which is great. That was close. They're down to 71 HP.
Yeah, this game is just... What makes this game appealing to me is it's a microcosm of just 16-bit era SNES RPGs. It's got all the, you know, oh hey, this could just totally happen and screw your day up. But
and this is the second longest dungeon, or yes, I would say this is the second longest dungeon in the game.
Yeah, but at the very least, if you screw something up and it's just like, well, I died, it gives you, you know, a saving throw in terms of the 1-ups, but it also like it'll only cost you like 30 seconds to a minute usually, versus like a Dragon Quest where you party wipe and you lose 15 minutes.
Okay, so this boss is weak to ice. And you'll notice we use regen all. And I used Sharpen there at the start. And I used Pierce with Cthulhu. And the reason for that is, what am I doing? Losing my mind, friends. And I'm using Lightning to help build combo. Because I want to build as much combo as I can before I go ahead and hit her. So 2,000. A little bit more. Just need to keep Sharp alive, because Sharp is going to kill her when he uses Death Blow here. And you notice I use Dark Blast there, that's just to just get a little bit more damage. That 40 agility up right there is so important to get, because it makes her faster than all the enemies in the game. MP doesn't matter. Pause level ups don't matter. That shield him that I got there, getting that extra 25% is so important. Notice I teleport over here because it's faster to teleport over here and then fly down here than it is to fly down here. Welcome to Innsmouth. And this is the other really important item to buy.
Yeah, the Pure Blade gives an insane amount of offense to Sharp.
Yeah,
and a
just
little bit of
130 to
agility.
300.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get...
A lot of the
It's
town,
crazy.
basically every town in this game I've noticed is named for at least somewhere in the Cthulhu mythos. So it's pretty consistent with its lore, if completely parodical in nature.
Yeah. This town, they have... you have to go stay at the inn, which is similar to the story of the Shadow over Innsmouth. Where the guy stays, ooh.
Good catch.
Yeah, I was like, what did I not do? Where am I going? See, and again, Umi getting that 40 agility, she's got so much agility, she's going to go faster than every enemy in the game. She should have enough MP to get me to every save point. We won't fight any additional battles. There used to be in the route, we used to fight one battle in here to get an ability called Smash for Ember for this upcoming boss fight, but it's irrelevant.
Yeah, so the
Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't to get Smash. It was to get 40 extra strength. And
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
The dragon we just defeated actually joins our party and it allows us, instead of an airship, we get a dragon, which is, I think, slightly cooler. And she's actually a party member that we can use for the next portion of the game. She's not very good for the last dungeon, which is... Yeah, she's not very good for the last dungeon after this, but she is useful for the boss here. So it's pretty neat how everyone in this game has some use or another. Except for Pause. Yeah. Pause is there to waste time with menus.
Some of my movement's not been very good, but otherwise it's been okay. Yeah, Ember is a she. She is most definitely a she. And she's very useful in this upcoming battle, but like Ghosting said, but after that, she's not really useful.
Yeah, our 2 dimensions are killing waves of enemies fairly quickly, and then doing a really good job at taking out side minions in a single hit, which is what we use her for.
One of the interesting mechanics in this game is if you kill the side, both, like some bosses that come with multiple enemies, like Dagon coming up, comes with 2 deep ones. If you kill both of them, he will resummon them. So it's just better to just kill one and deal with the other one later, and then let Dagon. It's the same thing with Azul or Nerlatep earlier. If you kill both the zombies, he'll just resummon them. So you have to just kind of deal with them. Some bosses don't do it. Like obviously the 8 Princess doesn't. But some bosses do, and some bosses don't.
I think with 8 Princess, that would have been just overkill. If the shielded wolves come back, and you just have to poison them and take 2 turns.
Yeah, it also is really unfortunate in that fight because poison anybody is Umi, and you want to use Umi to heal people. Potions aren't really a big deal, but even casually, like if you're playing casually, the 8 Princess isn't difficult because you're such a high level. Especially if you do everything in the game. But I don't know why I went that way. So I can get another battle! So it's not really that big a deal. And you have a lot of potions. You get extra potions from different quests and things. So it's not as taxing on your healing. But in the speedrun, we have 8. And we want to save them for specific battles in case someone dies. Azathoth at the end. Dagon here can be kind of a problem, maybe. Cthulhu used to be a problem, I guess, but he dies so fast.
I was about to say, we walk past the torches.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, Rust. I'm rusty. I'm slop. I'm terrible.
We're in a factory. Rust is normal.
Unfortunately, I think we're gonna probably go rusty. It's okay. This dungeon is the second, or another one of the really long dungeons. The dungeons get progressive. Switch my party around here real quick. And this is the only battle. And all your characters get experience regardless of whether they are in battle or not. And whether they're alive or not. See, like right there, he just resummoned it immediately. That happens sometimes too.
Yeah, but thankfully it wastes his turns, so it lowers the risk.
Yep. And I'm going to use Shield Him here, because Shield Him is a very nice ability to have.
Thankfully, after this fight, Cthulhu will get Berserk, which is an extremely helpful offensive ability, because it builds up combo and does a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. The other nice thing about this fight is Ember has a huge amount of health, so if Dagon attacks Ember, just you don't have to worry too much.
Yep, and you saw right there, like Sharp got put to 1 HP, but luckily we had it covered. Taunts, Strength. There's Berserk, Agility Will, MP Agility, which is a perfect level. We want Swords Dance 5 as well, where it hits everybody. Combo Master doesn't really matter.
I personally still use Combo Master in my route a little bit.
Yeah,
It's an ability that every turn you get +4 to your combo.
yeah, you definitely can. You definitely can use it. I don't, because I just use Sword. I just use. And now after this, that is the last set of level ups that matter.
Yeah. Thankfully, we are right outside the final dungeon here. Relay, or as Gerrick pronounces it, Ryle.
Yeah, however you want.
Nobody knows how these things are pronounced. They're never meant to be pronounced by human.
Exactly.
beings.
This language doesn't make any sense. So you saw me move me back into my party. She's gonna be fast on all at this point in the game. She's gonna be able to run away, which is really important. There is one enemy in here that she's not fast in. I don't remember what it is, but it doesn't. It's a rare. Am I going the right way? Yeah. Okay. This dungeon is very confusing.
But I think you took a detour, but most paths converge at some point.
Took a little bit of a wrong turn there, yeah, because it's supposed to go the other way. It's no big deal. We'll get there.
So that treasure chest we walked past, we'll come around nearby it, but that's where Cthulhu's sword is, and that actually can be really useful if we don't get the sword earlier on in the run, or if we're really looking to do a marathon safe strat, which it doesn't look like we'll need to do, but if we need to be safer, it helps.
Yeah, if I was like a level or two lower, I would worry about it, but because it can happen where you're a little bit lower level. Yeah, see, normally I'd be coming at it from the south, so it's a little bit. Here in a little while, we're gonna fight the hardest, well, second hardest boss in the game, Kappa.
Yep.
They're so strong, it's scary.
It's a shame the music in this game resets old RPG style, because if the music was more like Final Fantasy 6 or 7, where like it continues on, the song in Relay is actually really cool.
Yeah,
very nice bass. Yeah, this for a game that was released on the Xbox Live Arcade at 99 cents for people to just play for a few hours and beat. This game had pretty solid production and thought put into it, despite its general low-budget RPG Maker kind of appearance.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty solid game, especially for the price. The price point.
The system they made was simple, but it feels like they thought it out well. And the music's actually pretty solid, I feel.
Yeah, the music and the gameplay is.
It captures that 90s RPG feel really well. While
it's a very simple game.
Yeah, while being 21st century in terms of design, so like no random BS.
And there's in every dungeon there's a certain number of battles that you can get. You can stand around and just fight them next to a save point if you wanted to grind.
Yeah, you can actually manually trigger fights. I occasionally do this if I get to the end of the forest and Umi's not high enough level.
Yep, if you don't have Plague Strike or Sting Strike, you kind of have to. And what happens then is you can just trigger those fights. And when you get to maximum level in this game, you don't get any encounters.
And you do like a silly no encounters run.
Yeah. It was like 21 minutes or something. You can, when you beat the game, you unlock overkill mode, which after one battle, all your characters get to level 40, which is the maximum level, and you go through and you do all their level ups. And I was just messing around one day on stream. It was like 19 minutes or something for the entire run because we were max level. So here comes this super hard boss that they decided to put in the game.
Yeah, it's the 3 heroes yet again.
And alright. And Sharp is like, oh, that's anticlimactic. And everybody's kind of like, yeah, well, those guys are losers. So we're coming into the last stretches here. This is the last little area before we fight. There's 2 bosses at the end of the game. Cthulhu, which is a giant golem Cthulhu, who we're just going to annihilate. And then Nerlatep, who can be a nightmare, but he probably won't be. I have faith in him today.
Yo, let's get that $55 in to make sure Voligen has to do no experience.
What is he doing? Ori?
Yeah, if we hit 4K, he has to do a 0 experience Ori Blind Forest run.
Okay, if I make estimate, he's gonna do it because I'll donate $55.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. So if we get 4 minutes to the end of the game, everybody, we hope. I'll do it anyway, probably. I don't know. We'll see. If Nerlatep doesn't troll me, we'll do it.
Nerlatep is dead, dude.
Yeah. Or not Nerlatep, sorry,
yeah,
Azathoth. My bad. I always get them confused for some reason. I don't know why. I've read a lot of Lovecraft lore, so I don't know why I get those two so confused.
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea why.
Yeah, it's a shame there aren't very many good Cthulhu games in terms of actually presenting Cthulhu and the Cthulhu myth and the Cthulhu, what he embodies as a being. But at least this game, it doesn't really try to do that very much, so I give it a pass for that.
If you like playing old school RPGs for 99 cents or $1, this is a pretty good buy, honestly.
Yeah, it's on Steam with its sister game Breath of Death 7, which was their first parody RPG.
Mm-hmm. Which I have not actually played all the way through. Some people were trying to get me to run it because when I started, I ran this game for my 12-hour challenge, and I keep going the wrong way, so I'm a complete failure at life. But I ran this game for a 12-hour challenge because I was like, hey, this is a kind of a short run. And my first run was like an hour and 10 minutes. And then I, of course, took the time down a little bit, and then Ghost King found the way to mash, which is just mashing with 2 buttons at the same time.
Yeah,
and,
keyboard and controller. It makes your setup really weird, and it gives us actual tech.
Yeah, I actually rebound the key to another key on my controller, so I have it key bound somewhere else.
So here's Cthulhu, the next boss. You put Ember in your party.
Yeah, so... Alright. So...
I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Gold Cthulhu or Golem Cthulhu. Might be both.
So this poor guy, he's gonna get turned to mush. Swords Dance, actually. So if you only have one enemy in the encounter, you need to shield him for safety. Swords Dance will hit him 5 times, and it gives you 5 combo. So...
Yeah, this is about the part of the game where you do have to be a little bit concerned for Sharp's MP, because if he runs out, then you can't do your death blow.
Yeah, you want to, it shouldn't be an issue. These level ups don't matter, so you can just mash through them. They literally have no effect on the game. So this is why I hit this, you can't get encounters in here, so you hit that save point. Save for safety. Same party. This is the final boss, so when he dies, it's time. When he fades from the thing. Get the kiss. You want to put regen all up first? Sword Dance, magic. Then shield him second, so that way everybody gets a little bit of buff. Did he stun everybody?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It looks like he stunned Sharp. The nice thing is, if you have to bring a party member back from the dead, they still have their stat bonuses. At least I think so.
Yes, they do. They don't lose any of their stat bonuses.
Ooh.
Controlled a little bit right there. gonna be close. How much life does he have? 15,000. Dead. Time.
Ooh, we just barely.
4706.
Oh, shoot. No.
Poop. That's unfortunate. The having to res Cthulhu there actually cost me the time. That's okay. That's 5 minutes off my world record run, which is 42:10, I think, or 42:30 or something like that. I don't remember what it is now. But that's the whole game. At the end of the game, these level ups also are irrelevant. Obviously, he's the last boss. We beat him. Cthulhu saves all of the worlds.
Is in captivity.
Yeah, and then there are bonus modes. You got some bromides. The only one I've ever gotten is the one for Cthulhu. I don't know how to get these. I've never.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. In the story, basically, you actually get your powers back after you beat Innsmouth, but Cthulhu's like, well, I have my powers back. Time to take over the world. Wait, you're supposed to be the hero. And he's like, I'm Cthulhu. And then you get the narrator's like, but that's no fun. So we'll give you the alternate ending.
Yeah, he gives you the alternate ending where Cthulhu turns into a good guy. A lot of these enemies you don't see because these are like enemies in different dungeons and stuff. I don't know. And then you can fight the narrator and the cosplayer. The cosplayer's fun.
You should adjust your controls for the
oh yeah, I should.
The blind orb.
So there's a really important way you can do this. You can go to Control 5XD-2. You can buy this on eBay, and now you're done. And now you can control the game with your mind. It's pretty fun. It's a fun little game.
Do your credits warp run?
Credits warp run?
Yeah. So this is my little thing I do. You just go to options and credits, and you can go to credits.
Yeah, credits. We did it! It's over! We saved! Yeah, world saved. Alright. So, it's a fun little game, and I would recommend getting it. If you guys, it's $1 on Steam.
It goes on sale for 44 cents.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. So, that's all I've got as far as this game is concerned. So,
looks like we have Tropical Freeze up next.
Yep, we do. So thank you for the Cthulhu run. And we've got Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze coming up next. And also, there's an important announcement. We have a $60 donation from Self-Righteous. And his comment is, good luck, Vulgen, because he just put us over the $4,000 mark. So that means Vulgen will be doing a 0 XP run for Ori. And more importantly, we've raised $4,000 for the Red Cross. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna get off here. You guys, good luck, and thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. All right, we're going to switch restreamers real quick, and we will be right back. So hang tight, guys.